What's up, guys? So this part of the tier list is upper mid tier. This is when you start getting to all the characters that I would say are actually just really good. You can honestly argue a lot of them as high tier. And there's a lot of characters here that might look weird. I think a lot of these characters that I put higher up in the last tier, but like out of place, are characters who I think are a bit harder to play, a bit rarer, and just generally a bit weird, or characters got more recent buffs, but I haven't quite got to see how good they are now. And yeah, all these characters tend to have things they're really good at. That, or they don't really any particularly bad weaknesses. This is like just the point of like you can definitely solo main all these characters, and I think you see good success in tournaments if you're gonna play her. So with that said, let's get to this. Right off the bat, Byleth. Byleth is a character I think a lot of people are gonna be able to say, hey, how's this character up here? And the thing with this character is, yes, you know, very slow, overall hurts a lot, not the best frame data, but she has really absurd hitboxes everywhere. She has hitbox for everything. If you're next to her, you gotta deal with Nair, which has multi-hit properties you can use to drag down, get combos off of, like dash attack, go for grab mix-ups. A lot of things you do with it. You know, try to be afraid of Nair and space around her a bit more. She has back air, punish that, try to play grounded. She has like down tilt and forward tilt for pokes. You know, if you're above her, up air, hit a short pearly, up smash, or nair. She has some small grab combos. She has very high damage output. And her kill power can be absolutely insane. Sure, her recovery is much better than people give her credit for because her RP is so far. It's a tether, which is generally tether's a really good ultimate. If you like hit like off stage or in the corner, that's gonna be bad. But generally you just recover for free. Combine that with just like the ledge chopping being so dumb, where sometimes she just catches you to the forward smash and you die. You keep getting like forward air and air, you just keep taking damage, and like yeah, and same with her edge guarding you. She can just kill you sometimes. And overall, she's a really scary character with really big, good buttons everywhere that people don't give enough credit for how important it is to just have really big, good buttons everywhere. And I actually think, you know, if we didn't go in quarantine basically right after she released, we'd be seeing more people playing her at least a little bit and showing off, hey, she's actually a really nice character who, yeah, she's more lopsided in terms of strengths and weaknesses than a lot of characters here, I think. But it works because of how overtuned some of her things are. Next up, Samus. Samus is a good zoner. Very well-rounded zoner. Has really good footsies with some of the tilts, heavyweight, really good projectiles, and a good mix of them. Has Zair as well as a nice spacing tool, good burst option with dash attack. Like, overall, she's really good. She's here though because nothing about her stands out as amazing. Like, charge shot's particularly good, but it's not like super broken. Her ledge trapping can be really good with like down B setups. But even then, like, there's more ridiculous ledge trapping characters have. And then she really struggles with characters that can just really zone break her fast. Small characters that can run at her, like Diddy Kong, the rats are annoying. Even characters like Fox can be really annoying. There's also characters with faster projectiles that can kind of like out projectile her. I think like Youngmi, for example. And basically, she just struggles versus characters that are better than her at like more like specific things. So, well-rounded, doesn't like get destroyed by any characters as far as I know, except maybe like the small characters. You know, Quick has some success with her. I think there's generally like good Samus results all over the place. Also has the longest grab range in the game, which is very nice, especially with grab combos and a kill. And really, she's honestly, I could be underrating her here, but I can't find something that makes me want to put her higher up either. And you know it's going to go a little quicker this video because there's so many characters to talk about now. Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt is like, I'd call Duck Hunt the good version of Toon Link, in that this is a character whose damage output, kill power, it's actually decent, but it's not amazing, especially for the tier of characters we're in now. But his neutral is so good. Like, Can is such an absurd move for everything. Gunman is such an absurd move for everything. The side B is such a good punishment to get big damage going. The ledge trapping against this character, for this character, is insane. Trying to keep this character disadvantaged because of Can, because of nice, like, disjointed hitboxes on forward and back air, because of fast nair, being a small character, it's not too light, a solid recovery, like, it's really hard to abuse this character. And the only weakness this character has is, can't be a good, like, kind of pressure breaker. It doesn't stop this character from having trouble dealing with more disjointed pressure. Like, think like Palutena rushing him down. Or, like, a sword character like Chrom or even Lucina, like, putting on a lot of pressure out of range where you can't quite hit them. And can just kind of abuse the fact that his frame data isn't that great. But really, I think for most characters, getting in is a nightmare and staying in is also a nightmare. And this character has really good setups too to complement how hard it is to get in and how much you're going to be taking damage over time. And Raito's success shows this character, while not like top tier or high tier, is one of the better characters in the game, in upper mid tier. Okay, Meatball is a character that's gotten like more hype recently because of Larry and now Rizisu. I definitely didn't say the name right. In Japan, doing well with him, winning a tournament over like players such as T and who else? And Kome. Yeah, so this character, I feel like he falls under the rule of, hey, if you're a fast, small character with good frame data, good damage output, good combos, including like down tilt helicopter kick combos for absurd kills, you can't be a bad character. Add on a projectile and a really good command grab side B, and then a bad zero suits down B, which is like, having a bad zero suit down B is still a top tier move, honestly. And you just have a character, I don't really know too like in depth how good they are, but I can tell you this character is definitely solid. And I'm honestly just waiting right now to see if this character has more results from Rizisu, or was more just like, hey, he did very well, people are learning how to fight him now. Because his lack of range is a problem, for sure. Next up, you have Falcon. Did I forget a character? I just feel his order is messed up. Where was the Bayo? I know the Bayo set. Somewhere. Oh, here it is. Alright. So, Bayo. Bayo's a weird character. I don't blame people for thinking she's bad. I think we look at her on paper, and at first glance, she's a bad character, even after some... I think she got some buffs. But she's actually a pretty solid character. She's really hard to hit, and she is really good at punishing anything. Aerial side B, the down B, which has a massive radius for slowing people down in this game. Up B shield. Combine that with like being hard to chase because of the side B. She can be good at camping characters out because of down B being such a big like radius to activate. Her guns can be a little bit annoying. Her recovery while can be punished. She has mix-up, so it's not easy to edgeguard her. If you mess up, she'll easily reversal you. Combo game can do a lot of damage. She can get kills off very easily. She sets up for edgeguards very well though. And her juggling is nothing to scoff at either. Even her corner pressure can be really annoying. And like, she has to be one of those characters that is a slow-paced matchup, I'd say, when you play the character right. That works in her favor because of how many times you can find openings to just do a lot of damage and reversal you. And potentially just end stocks when you're like, wait, I thought Bayo can kill 200%. With that said, obviously, she has trouble ending raw kill moves. Her frame data isn't the best, so she relies a lot on like her mobility options with her specials. And I do think she's a really hard to play character in this game because she doesn't play like an ultimate character. So I don't blame people for thinking that she's much worse than I believe she is. Alright, now I think I got the order right. Yeah, now we do Falcon. So Falcon. Falcon is a character where... This game went fast. Okay. Falcon is a character where, like, his gameplay is pretty simple. He's going to run at you and do a mix-up. He's either going to guess right and, like, kill you or do a lot of damage, or guess wrong and get punished. The thing is, he's really good at that mix-up game. When he runs at you, it makes you guess. Either you can wall him out with, like, you know, projectiles, disjoints, whatever. He can also just get it with his speed. Especially with the buff to side B, give it, like, you know, reliable now, has good super armor, leads to combos really well. Like, that's scary. A lot of stuff Italian's been having especially really scares me with, like, how consistent you set up knees off, like, up airs, nairs, grabs. You know, the down air being a really good two-frame tool. His edge guard can be really scary. His ledge chopping can be pretty simple but effective with holding jabs out and baiting things out and up being out of shield. And, you know, he hasn't changed the series in terms of, like, weaknesses, you know? Edge guardable, combo food, has to approach. And that all holds him back. But I think he's a character that, even in his supposedly bad matchups, can win just off the raw nature of lots of built-in mix-ups that lead to lots of very quick damage and kills. Remember, it's hard to be a bad character if you're fast. Alright, next up, Ken and Ryu. I know they're different characters, but I'll talk about them both at the same time. So, this is a character that, I don't know, I feel weird about because on one hand, he's very linear. Like, their approaches are very linear. Hitboxes aren't great. They're not... Ken is decently fast, but Ryu isn't. But their frame data once they're in your face is absurd. Like, they're on block pressure. Guarantees short breaks, pokes, free damage. Basically, you can't block this character. You have to keep them out. And they have okay sized hitboxes and a decent projectile and focus. Means some characters have a lot of trouble keeping them out when they're landing on top of them. Or they have trouble just juggling him, period. Combine that with, like, really deadly damage and kill power in the combos. With Shuryu Enders, just raw, like, billion damage strings. They're very sticky, too, so once they get on top of you, they can kind of, like, drag you across the stage with, like, nairs and other things, tilt, side B, and, like, keep you in their face at the same time, which is exactly where they want. And it's, like, a very one-note character, I'd say, that's pretty good at the one thing he does, which is destroy once he's in your face. And then when you're playing Ryu, you trade some of that like stickiness and getting in your face power for a much better zoning game, which is good in some matchups, where your opponent can keep you up pretty well like swordies, but may not deal with projectiles the best. So you can kind of like condition the not press buttons to keep you out and then get free chip damage and then get in. And so they're pretty decent characters. Recovery is not that great. Disadvantage is very matchup dependent, I'd say. The neutral is generally a bit of a struggle for them, but they're good overall. Alright. Pits. Pits are the character where I would say they actually are good everywhere. Like, they're the jack of all trades character in this game that focuses on being more defensive. With good disjoints overall, a good projectile, nice combo game, fast out shield option with Nair, good edge guard, really good disadvantage with multi-jumps. Like I said, good hitboxes again, not big hitbox size, not easy to combo, decent weight. It ends up being a character where it's like, if you have to approach Pit, it's really annoying. It's generally hard to keep Pit at disadvantage if you're not like a character with, like, I can stick on people or really good hitboxes or otherwise good edge guarding or juggling. And yeah, this character has, you know, kill confirms, good combos, a good grab game. And mainly the thing with this character is he's not reliable. A lot of his multi-hits don't work reliably. Like up smash, people fall out of it. People fall out of Nair all the time. Up air isn't that reliable sometimes. Forward air can be iffy. Combine that with some hitboxes that just straight up aren't as good as they should be. Like up smash is not nearly as good of an anti-air as it should be. And he has below average damage output, especially for this part of the tier list. And same with kill power. So he just has one neutral a bit more than his opponent. But luckily he has generally good advantage state with kind of juggling, edge guarding, and ledge trapping. Combined with having a really good neutral and not being so bad damage output that he's like suffering like a character such as I don't know, like, oh my god, I know there's a character earlier on with bad damage output. Whatever. So he doesn't like suffer when it comes to damage output, and he ends up just being a character that is overall really good. His matchup spread, you know, I played him quite a bit. I think it's good outside of a couple really hard matchups like Diddy Kong, where he has to approach and he has a lot of trouble approaching. And pretty much everywhere, except in the US, I think he has someone doing well with the character. Alright, next up, Luigi. This is a character for the longest time I thought was bad. And I'll be quite frank, I think if you play the matchup correct, which is basically timing him out, he's a good character. Also, you guys may have noticed, I skipped over Marth. I actually am going to talk about Marth later when I talk about Lucina in the next video. Just because I think you have to talk about them together and talk about why Marth is the worst character in that context. But yeah, so, Luigi. I think he's a character that if you play to time him out, like run away, platform camp, all that stuff, he isn't that great, and there are some characters who do it very well. But if you're playing a character, or you're just playing a playstyle that just doesn't do that, you're not just going to run away from him. Playing a character that can't platform camp him, cheese him out, he's really dumb. Like, all of his actual buttons are insane, like, to compensate for his atrocious mobility. You know, obviously he just does not okay damage with his grabs. He kills you at 0. His air is also really annoying moving neutral, surprisingly. Like, really good. Fireballs are good. He just mashes, like, combo break, like, frame 1, invincible down B. Parry up B can ruin stocks in games so quickly. His recovery isn't as free to edgeguard as you'd think it is, because you have to basically catch him, like, during the side B, otherwise he gets back for free. And he's just a character that has a really good fear factor to him. Like, even if he's on paper not great in these situations, the raw, like, oh, it's Luigi factor carries him so hard, and elegance results. Kind of just like, alright, character's good. Some very lopsided matchups, but definitely a good character if you're not running into, like, those very lopsided matchups. Also super degen. Alright, Link. I mean neutral air. Not Link, just neutral air. That move does everything. Sure, it's frame 7, I think, but oh god, it's safe, it's massive, it combos, good damage, can even kill, can edgeguard, can make you breakfast. Like, that move in its own is better than about half the roster. And then you add it to a character that has really big, high damage sword moves and a really good projectile game. And then he has, like, some crazy 20xx stuff. I'm not sure if people can actually learn, like, the 20xx, like, bomb confirms consistently. But if they ever do, I can see his character being, like, a top tier threat, honestly. His only real weakness is that, not even that he's slow, because since his projectiles are so good and his range is good, and his frame rate is also pretty solid overall. Like, his lack of speed only really hurts him for landing and recovering. Otherwise, his other weaknesses are just he's a kind of big character who's pretty easy to combo. He doesn't have the best out shield options either. So overall pressure and just disadvantage hurts for him. And that's really it. He could honestly be a high tier character. But I do think his disadvantage state and, like, struggle with pressure and struggle with characters being fast enough to, like, move around projectiles and hit him keeps him as, like, an upper mid tier character who has good results. Alright, Ike. Ike got buffed in a recent patch, and honestly the buffs are better than I thought they were. Like, sure, he lost some nair conversions, but up B being a really annoying option where you can't just mash on a shield is scary. He has just big sword hitboxes, like, everywhere. Dash that kills obscenely early now, so you have to, like, respect that a lot. Basically, a lot of this character is respect. He's a heavyweight character with good damage output, good kill power, who you have to respect. Dash attack, back air, down throw combos, down throw into, like, fair, good edge guarding, good ledge trap because of massive sword aerials, juggling because massive sword aerials, up your shield. I've seen, like, players use Sipem recently. It's, like, a really scary burst option, just punishes, like, almost everything. And you kind of have everything you want in, like, a big sword character, I'd say. Sure, he's slow. His recovery isn't that great. Depends on the match, to be fair. Struggles both projectiles. Struggles both characters that can just edge guard him and put pressure on him, but who doesn't? Yeah, you just kind of... He's a really simple character with very simple strengths and weaknesses. He ends up being a good character. Also, he has up B cheese, too. He ends up being a good character that, like, if you make a couple of reads in space well, he is a problem. But he doesn't have anything outside of, like, just playing pretty well fundamentally. No crazy cheese or anything like that. And before you tell me up B cheese is, like, what's cheese? I mean dumber things like Rob Gyro setups and, like, Arson. Alright, Corrin. Corrin is also another very simple character. This character basically plays the most, like, ultimate type of ultimate I've ever seen. This character mashes. This character can absolutely just swing hitboxes everywhere. Like, almost every aerial they do is a good button in some way. Combos and this stuff can do good damage, can lead to kills after buffs. Come on now with, like, side B being a really, really annoying move if you make any mistakes versus this character. It can be hard to edge guard this character because of massive hitboxes on up B. Come on, the fact that it goes pretty far and fast after buffs from a while ago. Killing throw, a counter that is very powerful. And you have this character that's extremely simple. But man, she is good at what she does. I feel like the matchup she wins, she just kind of wins hands down. And the matchups she struggles with are just the characters that don't let her mash, and then she just loses, like, easily. So, very linear. I feel like she's more of a counter pick character than, like, a solo mainable character as a result. But man, is she a good counter pick character in my opinion. You just can't go wrong with being able to mash safe buttons and ultimate that can combo and set up kills. And if she was like fast, oh my god, it'd be like Smash for Cloud all over again, to be honest. And before someone says, oh, her recovery isn't that good, very matchup dependent, I'd say. Some characters can challenge up B, and it's not that great. If your character struggles with that, especially because she can angle it, then it's kind of rough. Alright, Young Link. Now, Young Link is honestly a character that would be high tier if his disadvantage wasn't so trash. Like, he is combo food. He is a fast faller character. But he's also light. He's very slow in the air. So as a result, he gets comboed easily, juggled easily, edgeguard easily. His ledge game isn't that good. And like, and his hitboxes don't have great range. He's not really a swordy. Think of it more like Meta Knight or like Toon Link, where it's like he has a sword technically, and it gives him some disjoint, but doesn't play like a swordy. But man, he is Fox if Fox was a projectile-based character. Insane ground speed. Nair pressure is insane. But then his projectiles are extremely spammable and basically stop the flow of combat. Like, you just have to respect it. When you're just throwing things at you, you're just like, well, you're doing it. I just gotta find an opening for you to stop throwing things, or wait for you to purchase something. I don't know. And it can be really scary. Combine that with lots of combos that can do a lot of damage and kill very quickly. To be fair, a lot of his combos can be DI to not kill you. So when you die versus this character from like early combos, it's kind of your mistake, especially because he relies a bit on like putting you in the corner to get like these crazy kills going. But he can easily push you into the corner through overwhelming speed, frame data, and projectiles. So very good at that. And if he just wasn't a character that can sometimes like lose stocks as fast as he can take them, he'd easily be a high tier character. Easily. And I think kind of the results of like Toon Link Young Link players being a little bit inconsistent validates the fact that his disadvantage, especially compared to like other characters, now we're getting to like the really good part of the cast, like his disadvantage being really lackluster is a problem. Because he doesn't have much he can do about it. Alright. Bowser. Best heavyweight in the game. No discussion there. Not including things like Snake, you don't feel like a heavyweight. Actually, I guess Rob. But whatever. Really, really good grappler, super heavyweight. Lots of damage, kill power. Advantage state's oppressive. Like this character. The thing about this character is, in theory, his neutral is just okay. Like he's fast, he has these big buttons. But his frame data, he has a good Ashio game with up B Ashio, but like his actual buttons are pretty bad on whiff. You can generally punish stuff Ashio versus him on block. Oh, there's command good to compensate for that, and he has neutral B as well for crazy good pressure on block. Along with shield break moves. He has decent hitboxes and okay disjoint, but you can generally outrange it. Struggles with projectiles because he's so big. Whenever he approaches you, he's committed to his approach because he's so big and has trouble like changing his like air direction. And then obviously combo food, juggle food, edgeguard food. Like if you execute right versus him, he's one of those characters that should almost always die when you put him at disadvantage with the right characters. But people make mistakes. And because people make mistakes, characters like Bowser, who punish them hard and have competent neutrals and competent disadvantages that are good enough where you can make mistakes sometimes, or you can get outplayed. I mean, a character like this, while he's not high tier by any means, he is very close to that. And he is an extremely oppressive character at lower and mid levels, and only really falls off for like top level play when people make less mistakes and get better at punishing and really abusing the weaknesses of being a big-bodied character with a lacking disadvantage state. And like you can kind of see it for the fact that Leon, very good Bowser, struggles a little bit versus top level players, but kind of demolishes almost every level of play. Alright. Ness. Wait, wasn't Ness last my list? I missed this video. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so Ness. Obviously a good character. This is like... The thing about this character is this is the character that's right before high tier. Like, this is the gatekeeper. His game plan is very solid. He kind of uses PK Fire to condition you to making lots of mistakes and pressure you very like safely. And then once you're dealing with that, he can start going on top of you with like aerials. He can start looking for grabs, and pretty much all of his normals lead to combos. Down tilt can be absurd for damage and leading like grabs. Nair can combo into stuff, following like up air drag downs, fair drag downs, down throw into stuff. PK Fire of course leads to a lot of combos. He's a small character. His air speed and control is amazing, especially coming out with down B and like double jump cancel stuff. Really, really good. His recovery is actually not that bad because of how massive his air dodge is. So mixing up like directional air dodges with up Bs and just a big ledge magnet, and potentially like having to deal with his up air challenging you because it's disjointed, multi-hit, means he's really slippery. Even catching his landing, once again due to his air mobility and his small size, he's really slippery overall, and you actually can't keep him disadvantaged that easily. The only thing is, his range is pretty bad, especially compared to like a lot of the good characters. So almost every like high and top tier character is gonna outrange him because he has minimal size disjoints. And a lot of the faster characters can punish PK Fires on block at like close to mid range, meaning you can't spam them. But like versus characters that can't punish that easily, either not having enough range or enough speed, he is very overwhelming. And yeah, it's just he kind of has a slightly below average neutral as a result compared to like the high and top tiers, but it is almost high tier himself. Also, ledge shot and down smash is stupid. Like it plays the game for itself. You actually can't be off stage versus him or at the ledge even. It's so crazy. And then because his mobility and air is so crazy, his juggling is really good. And yeah, he's a good character overall with solid results. And that is my upper mid tier. Next video, of course, is gonna be high tier. We get to the kind of ridiculous characters. Like these are all the really good characters for sure. Some of these characters people would argue are already high tier. But next video is like the characters who are just absolutely a step ahead of what we've been talking about. And we get to the characters that like almost all have something that's really broken or don't have any particular exploitable weaknesses. Like all these characters listed at least one thing where it's like, you can kind of exploit this. So just wait till the next video.